Good morning, all. So today we are going to take up the GST compliances part, like what accounts and the records that we need to maintain if a registered person is there for the GST compliance purpose. So let us take up the accounts and the records. Now, as you can see here, records that must be maintained under GST, it talks about the different books or the different records that you need to maintain if you are a registered person. So every registered person must maintain records of like what is the production or manufacture of goods, what is your business, like what you are manufacturing goods or the services or whatever your business is, that records must be maintained as we maintain the cost records for the production. Accordingly, we have to be well prepared with the production or manufacture of goods, that what you are manufacturing, and in reference to the production or manufacture you also have to maintain all the records in reference to the inward and the outward supplies of the goods or the services that you have done for the purpose of production. So any record that needs to be prepared in reference to the goods that is coming into the business or that is going out of the business, inward supply, outward supplies, in reference to goods, in reference to services, what you are taking up, all needs to be maintained in a proper manner. Then any stock of goods that you have in your business at any point of time, that also needs to be made. Then input tax credit availed. Input tax credit availed, you know very well that on the portal you get the required information about ITC that is being availed. Plus you also need to maintain that in your records in the physical form also. Then output tax payable and paid. Whatever is the output tax you have paid, or whatever is the output tax that is payable, along with the information given on the portal in your account, you have to maintain that also. Then other particulars as may be prescribed, like goods or services imported or exported other than the normal supplies. If you are going for any sort of import or export of goods or the services, or record of supplies for reverse charge mechanism, like any reverse charge mechanism supply you have made where you are the recipient and you have made the supplies, and sorry, you have received the supplies and you have paid the taxes on behalf of that also, that records also you need to maintain, which is generally not required, but in case of reverse charge mechanism, being the recipient, you have to make the records in your books. Then every other relevant document that you have received or you have prepared, you have generated in reference to the transport, in reference to the invoices, in reference to the credit debit note, delivery challan, any sort of receipt voucher that you have received or prepared. So any relevant document in reference to your goods or the services, in crux we can say in reference to your goods or the services, any particular document or any particular document in reference to your inward and outward supply of goods, that all you need to maintain while you are doing your GST compliances. And whatever compliance you make, you need to have the documentary proof of that also, in terms of invoices, in terms of debit or the credit note, in terms of e-way-bills or delivery challans, or vouchers. So whatever you are doing in your business in reference to the inward supplies, in reference to the outward supplies, in reference to the production of goods, in reference to your stock of goods, in reference to your input tax credit that has been availed, in reference to your inward taxes paid, outward taxes paid, or any other detail in reference to the goods or the services, that you need to maintain the record of. The next slide talks about accounts to be maintained under goods and the services tax. Like in the first slide, we talk about that what all records you have to maintain. Next is that specifically what all accounts that you need to prepare here. So one is the register of goods produced. You know very well that if you are a manufacturing concern, you are a production house, then in that case, you have to clearly and specifically and accurately maintain the register of goods produced. That is the cost records, for the purpose of cost records, and you have to be specifically maintaining that. Then purchase register, what goods you have purchased or services that you have purchased. And sales register, you know, these all are the records, accounts that you need to maintain, specifically if you are a manufacturing concern. So stock register, purchase register, sales register, these all are the, you can say, goods book or the services that you need to maintain in your register. Whatever you have received, whatever you have purchased, whatever you have supplied, and what at any point of time, what stock you have in your organization. These all are the registers or the books that you need to maintain to have a record of your goods or the services that you are manufacturing or producing at any point of time. Then in reference to GST compliance, further is the input tax credit availed. Input tax credit availed means whatever tax credit that you have already availed, whatever tax credit you have already taken benefit of. Yeah, then output tax liability, you all know very well that whatever tax liability you need to pay off to the government. Output tax paid, whatever tax that out of the liability that you have already paid, and other specific records that talks about the GST compliance or GST, like you can say tax paid in reference to tax paid or tax, you can say paid to the government or tax received by the recipient or tax paid to the supplier. All these records that you need to maintain here. Then next it talks about the accounts to be maintained under GST regime. Specifically what accounts, as you all know, you all are the commerce students, you all know very well that under ledger accounts, we need to prepare the different specific accounts in reference to the journal entries that we do for the business. So in the same manner, whenever we under GST, we pay any tax or we outward tax paid or the inward supplies taxes paid, in that case you need to you need to pass the journal entry specifically for that transaction, and accordingly you need to maintain the ledger accounts also. So any journal transaction that you have recorded in your books, in reference to that, your accounts will be maintained. So for any business concern, what the journal entry can be, it will be maybe on the inward supply taxes that have been made or on the outward supply taxes that have been paid. So input CGST account will be there, output CGST account will be there. Input CGST, whatever taxes you have paid on the inward supplies. Output CGST, whatever CGST you have paid in reference to the output supplies. Then input SGST, output SGST, which talks about the SGST that you have paid maybe on the inward supplies or on the outward supplies. Then IGST, IGST can also be under two heads. One, it will be input IGST, like whatever you have paid for the inward supplies, and output IGST, whatever you have paid on the outward supplies. Then it is the electronic cash ledger to be maintained on government GST portal. You all know this very well, that electronic cash ledger is the portal account that you need to maintain, which talks about the what all credit you have made to the government in reference to the cash, and what are amounts that has been debited out of that in terms of payment of taxes to the government. So this electronic cash ledger will be prepared uh, in your portal under your registration number. Then next it talks about the electronic cash and credit ledger. This you all know very well. We have uh, talked about this in detail under the payment of taxes, where we talked about the register, where we talked about the person who is going for the registration and who has been allotted a registration number GSTIN, and that on the portal, and he under his account number he will be having all the cash and the credit ledger and the liability register. So for that purpose, if you are a registered person, you will be having these accounts in your online portal. And there are three types, as you all know very well. We have the electronic cash ledger, credit ledger, and e-liability ledger. Under cash ledger, what we do, we basically deposit the amount to that account, and then from that account, cash ledger, your GST payment gets debited. So when the account is credited with certain amount, it will be shown under the credit, and when that amount will be used for the payment of GST, it will be debited from that cash ledger. Credit ledger shows you that how much credit you have, input tax credit you have in terms of IGST, CGST or SGST, different categories of GST that you pay. And e-liability register will simply show you the tax liability of a particular taxpayer, like for a particular month, what all is the total tax liability that he has to meet out. So these are the portal, different ledgers under the portal that will be maintained on the GST network. Then period for retention of accounts under GST. Now you know very well that when we talk about the retention of accounts, or you can say we are saying that for how long we have to retain such records of the accounts that we have maintained. So GST simply says that every registered person must maintain the accounts, books and records for at least 72 months or for 6 years. So whatever is the last date for the filing of returns, like previously it was extended to 31st December, but now the date for annual filing of returns is 30th September. So till 30th September, you have to file your annual returns. For last year, it is 30th September. For this year, this has been due to pandemic, it has been extended till 31st October. So for 1920, the filing last date for filing of annual returns was 30th September, but it has been extended to 31st October. So it simply says that 72 months, for 72 months, you need to retain your accounts, and that accounts 72 months will be counted from the date of filing of annual return for that year. Like this year, if you are filing your return on 31st October, on the last date, then from 31st October till next 72 months, you have to maintain the records of this financial year. So any for any year, when you pay your when you file your return, from that time till next 72 months, you need to keep your accounts for the GST purpose. Now, if the taxpayer is a part of any proceedings before any authority or is under investigation, like if any proceedings are being done or any case is going on for against any registered person, and for that he needs to keep the records, keep the documents in reference to that case for at least 1 year after the order of such proceedings or appeals has been passed. Like whenever the order has been passed, whenever the whenever the decision has been done for that investigation, from that date, at least for next 1 year, the related documents should be maintained by the business organization or the registered person. Then next it talks about consequences of not maintaining proper records. The consequences here talks about that if the person found out to be like he's not maintaining the records in a proper format, or if there is any compliance under GST which has not been made, or any like supplies which has been missed out by the registered person or not recorded in the books of accounts, under that situation the unaccounted goods or the supplies will be taxed, and accordingly he will be penalized for not maintaining the records appropriately or for incomplete compliance of GST. So along with that unaccounted goods for which the tax has not been calculated, or the supplies has been skipped out, along with that tax, the person will require to be pay the penalty also. So the liability of that person will become the tax as well as the penalty that has been imposed on that person for the non-compliance or for not properly maintaining the records or books related to GST entries. So this is it from my side for the proper maintenance of records. Thank you.